what if I told you that our entire understanding of ancient history is wrong? Not just a little off, but fundamentally centuries wrong. That's the wild idea at the center of Mario Arndt's book, When the Sun Went Dark. He's using the sky itself, ancient records of eclipses, to argue that our historical timeline is completely out of whack. Let's dig into how he makes his case.
So, it all kicks off with eyewitness accounts just like this one. This is from the famous Greek historian Thucydides. He's describing a solar eclipse, and he gives these incredible details. The sun became moon-shaped, and stars actually came out. I mean, it sounds like a perfect, crystal-clear observation, right? The kind of thing you could anchor a historical timeline to, but this is exactly where the problems begin.
And here is the first major crack in the foundation. The official textbook date for this event is 431 BC. But when modern astronomers wind back the clock and look at the sky over Greece on that day, the eclipse was only partial. You know, not nearly dark enough for stars to suddenly pop into view in the middle of the afternoon. So right away we have a problem. The historical record and the astronomical facts just don't add up.
Now, this isn't just a minor detail. This one discrepancy blows the doors wide open on a much bigger investigation into how we date any ancient event. And the main suspect in this whole historical mystery turns out to be this tiny but unbelievably important variable in astronomy.
Okay, let's talk about something called delta T. The easiest way to think about it is this. The Earth is like a spinning top. And over millions of years, thanks mostly to the moon's gravity, that spin has been slowing down, just a tiny, tiny bit. Delta T is the correction, it's the fudge factor that astronomers use to account for that slowdown. It's absolutely essential for figuring out exactly where the shadow of an eclipse would have fallen thousands of years ago. And this, right here, is the absolute heart of Arndt's argument. You see, since around the 1600s, when we started getting really good at measuring this stuff, the changes in delta T have been tiny, they've been stable, totally predictable. But to make the ancient eclipses fit their official historical dates, scientists have to assume these completely wild, physically bizarre jumps and dips in the Earth's past rotation. The graph for ancient delta T looks absolutely nothing like the modern one we can actually measure.
So here's the kicker. Arndt argues the whole process is a loop. It's circular logic. As this quote gets at, astronomers basically start by assuming the history books are correct. Then, they tweak the delta T values until the eclipse lands in the right time and place. So the chronology is used to prove the delta T, which is then used to prove the chronology. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
So if delta T is this shaky, unreliable tool, how can we possibly figure this out? Well, Arndt says we should use something else, a secret weapon, a hidden pattern that's written right into the movements of the cosmos. 109,529. Just look at that number. It seems totally random, doesn't it? But according to Arndt, this number is the key that unlocks the entire puzzle.
See, that number isn't random at all. It's the precise number of days in a very specific celestial cycle. It works out to be about 300 years, and after that exact amount of time, a solar eclipse that's very similar to the first one often happens again in a nearby area. So what does that mean? It means a single ancient description might not refer to just one unique event. It could actually match several possible dates, each separated by this cosmic echo.
Let's make this real. Check out this eclipse described by the Roman historian Titus Livius. The official date is 188 BC, but to make that work, you need one of those big, weird delta T corrections. Okay, but what if we add our 300-year cycle? We land in 113 AD, and guess what? There was another really strong eclipse that also fits the description. Let's do it again. Add another 300 years, and you get to 413 AD, where there's yet another good match. All of a sudden, one story could be talking about 3 different events over a 600-year period.
Okay, this is where things get really mind-bending. Because Arndt didn't just do this for 1 or 2 eclipses. He applied this cycle to dozens of them. And what he found led him to a conclusion that is, well, it's completely staggering.
His big thesis is this. Our timeline of ancient history isn't just off by a decade here or there, it's fundamentally broken. Entire eras of human history, he claims, are in the wrong place, shifted forward in time by hundreds upon hundreds of years.
And I mean, just look at the scale of these proposed shifts. We're not talking small tweaks. Arndt is suggesting that events from ancient Greece need to be moved forward more than 1,100 years. Ancient Rome? He says it happened almost 800 years more recently than we think. This isn't just redating history. It's a complete and total reshuffling of the deck.
So let's circle all the way back to our first mystery, that eclipse described by Thucydides.
Remember, the official date at 431 BC gives us a weak eclipse, no visible stars. But if we apply Arndt's proposed shift for ancient Greece, that's plus 1123 years, we land on a brand new date, 693 AD. And what happened in Greece in 693 AD? A near-total eclipse, one that was absolutely strong enough for bright planets and stars to be seen. Suddenly, the ancient words and the modern science match up. Perfectly.
So, let's just pause for a second and ask, what if he's right, or even partially right? The implications aren't just academic, they're world-changing. This doesn't just rewrite a few chapters in a history book, it turns the entire library upside down.
Just think about this for a second. The plague of Justinian in the 6th century and the Black Death in the 14th, Arndt says they could be the same catastrophic event, just echoed through a massive chronological error. Instead of two huge climate disasters, maybe there was only one. He even suggests that a Roman emperor we think died in 518 AD could be the historical basis for the story of Christ, with his death redated to 1039 AD. The entire story of Western civilization would be radically different.
In the end, what Arndt's book really does is force us to look at the very bedrock of our timeline and ask how solid it really is. He's pitting the established official history against a brand new one built purely on astronomical patterns that don't need any weird physics to work.
So it really leaves us with this massive question. Are we looking at a locked-in, settled timeline of the past, or are these ancient records more like a code, filled with hidden celestial patterns, just waiting for someone to find the right key to finally crack it wide open? Whatever the answer is, thinking about it could change how you see the past, forever.